Hello, Clint here, Crimson Landscape, here to talk about your landscape and outdoor living design. All right, so for your landscape in the front, I did a design. We took out that concrete, installed the new concrete here in the middle. I did a rock salt finish. We could certainly do a broom finish. Need to fix the drainage, of course, grab the gutter, tie the gutter into the ground, and take it out to the yard, or at least to the sidewalk. Then I did two simple pads here. I like the gap between the concrete and the driveway. For the simple fact is when you go to update your driveway one day, or if you ever decide to do it, then you already have that natural gap. There's no weird overlap or connection point. A little sitting area here with a couple chairs in the shade made sense to me. It's a good space filler as well. Just trying to keep it real modern. These front sitting areas are real popular. Okay, for the liriope. So over here on the right hand side we have the liriope. Because of the root structure of this tree, I'm concerned that I'm not sure how the root structure is going to impact any plants. So I went with a more shallow root structure, and I think this tree is just nothing you can put in front of it because these trees are a little bit higher out of the ground than normal. Behind it, I put a nice, pretty Burford holly. You can cut them into individual plants so they stay as an individual plant, or you can let them grow as a hedge. It's a good evergreen plant, does well in the shade. You can get it in 3-gallon or 7-gallon. For this application, I'd probably go 7-gallon. On the other side, by the front door, I did just two brake light yuccas. I like the brake light yucca because the bloom is a little bit deeper red and doesn't get quite nearly as big as the pink yucca. It's a pretty easy to maintain plant. A little bit of steel edge here to create a border. This around this tree, there's nothing you can plant. It's just the roots are way too shallow. So I just squared it off, added this steel edge, both sides, steel edge on this side, steel edge on this side, then did Yopon hollies. In the back along the house, bridal wreath spireas along the house. They get wild, really pretty bloom in the winter. This is the only kind of a wild native Texas style plant in your whole application. Everything else is pretty shaped. Over here on the left side, I did a Canyon Crickabilia, nice tiny white bloom. Kind of has an orangey color to the leaf, sorta. Then I did dwarf Yopon hollies spaced out nicely in this gravel. We could do yuccas in the gravel as well, like a yellow yucca. I've just found from a health perspective, the yellow yucca, the really modern looking yucca, just doesn't seem to do quite as well in gravel as the Yopon holly. So I think I would stick with the Yopon holly. Whatever choice you make, both are easy to maintain. So the whole concept of this landscape is easy to maintain, modern, didn't break the bank on plants. Plants are spaced out just a little bit, just so they, as they grow, they're not. If it's not a dense everything's not a dense hedgerow. Side of the house over here, I did a piece of steel edge along your red tip photinas, just some mulch underneath it, then stop the steel edge here with the gravel. We can continue the gravel all the way back, or we can just put mulch in that corner, just a ground cover. All right, the street. All right, so I designed something as you can see in front of it, but I took it out because I just thought grass would look best. I think I would probably, if it's my house, I would go grass, have grass there for a few years, see if I was going to keep the driveway or not, then maybe switch over to something different. Okay, for the yuccas. What we could do is we can put these yuccas in here. I'm just going to move these in here, drop them in, and what it would look like with plants here. We got yellow yucca. The yellow yucca is a great plant. Then we have Rose Creek Abelias. It's just a smaller abelia that is white. Has a white bloom. Easy to maintain. It stays quite small. So that's what it would look like with if we went with plants in that space. This is not quite perfect. I would line this up with this walk path, of course, so it connected to the street. Then I'd probably power wash everything as well, so everything looks a little bit fresher. New power wash your sidewalks, so everything looks a little bit fresher. So this is the front. Of course, you would take your lights out, prep everything, put the lights back. Either Bermuda, St. Augustine, or zoysia over here, your choice. Then if you want to put grass here, it's just whatever grass you pick. Assumptions, the sprinkler system works. We just got to move things around. But from a grand scheme things, laying this out, this is a pretty easy landscape. The only time consuming part would be the concrete if you choose to do it. If you choose not to do the concrete, then the way this design is set up is super easy just to drop the plants that I added over here. Then the rest of the design sticks. All right, let me move to the back. All right, we got 2 designs in the back. Let me kind of do some housekeeping with the back. What I mean by that is your turf sticks out probably about, I think it's about 18 inches past the house right here where my little mouse is. What we have to do is you're going to lose a foot of the turf when we pour concrete because you have to peel the turf back, then you got to fold it on the end like you would fold like a carpet edge, like you're rounding around something. Same process, and we can be able to tuck it in next to the concrete. Or here we couldn't do the leave outs in between the concrete for the simple fact that it just won't work that well. Trying to match the old turf with the new turf with the old turf, trying to reuse the turf you have, nothing would ever just line up. So we have the defined edge. We can tuck the turf around the concrete. Then here I would do gravel or mulch. This would be kind of a maximum space, move furniture around as you see fit type of layout. This is probably going to be the easiest and the most cost effective to design. Install. Then you can do a rock salt finish or a broom finish. You could do a pattern, a color, a texture. I know you mentioned doing some fancy squares with colors. I would probably advise against it for the simple fact is, if you ever want to sell your house, you want to keep kind of the textures a little more neutral on your permanent things, and you go fancier, more ornate with things that are removable. I.e., I'd probably go simpler with the concrete, and I would go fancy with the furniture. That's probably the way I would do it. If we go really fancy squares and like ornate black and white patterns on the concrete, then will that impact selling your house down the road? Now you got to recolor, stain, and seal those every 5 years, so it's a maintenance issue as well. Okay, next design is a little fancier design. With this design, essentially what I did was I just put a gap here. This gap is called a leave out, and we filled that with river rock. I did not fill it with turf. I think it's just too hard to match old turf with new turf, so I did river rock. So your main space here, which would be an entertainment space, a really cool walk path that came out to your yard. We would use bender board in the gaps here to create a barrier, then do the river rock. Yes, I know you have an air conditioner thing right here, then you have some irrigation valves here. We can put some lights in here if you want to get super fancy and light it up. I did some chairs, seating area, so you can put a small couch or chairs right here just because it's perfect for casting the shadow from the western sun. You can see the shadows already being cast right now. This is a nicer look if you want something more ornate and fancier. This does cost quite a bit more than the other one I showed you because we have to frame all these leave outs and gaps. It's just a multi-phase process in doing it. It is 100% doable if this is the direction you want to go. The turf process is the same. We have to peel the turf back. We have to fold the turf under. It's not super clean, but it would work the best this way. Okay, let me pause there. I'll send this video over to you so you can talk about it with your spouse. Then if you have any questions, you can reach out to us email, or the next steps, we certainly can jump on a Zoom call. If you're a first-time guest seeing one of our videos and you want request some information, you can reach out to us at crimsonlandscape.com.